In a distant part of the galaxy, the Galactic Empire ruled with an iron fist. Their massive fleet of warships soared through the stars, spreading fear wherever they went. Planets trembled at the mere mention of their name. The Empire was ruthless, crushing worlds and enslaving civilizations to fuel their endless hunger for power. They sought to expand their dominion, and Earth was next on their list. On Earth, people lived in a fragile peace, unaware of the dark shadow looming above them. Cities bustled with life, and laughter echoed in the streets, but there were whispers among the leaders. In a secure, dimly lit chamber, high-ranking officials gathered around a large table. Maps of the galaxy covered the surface, marked with the Empire's movements. "The Empire is advancing. They will not stop until they reach Earth," said General Harris, his voice grave. He was a veteran of many battles, and the weight of worry etched lines on his face. "We must prepare for the worst." "What can we do?" asked Minister Green, shaking his head. "We have no fleet to defend ourselves. The Empire's forces are unmatched." As fear settled over the room, a voice broke through the gloom. It was Admiral Roberts, a retired war hero known for his bravery and cunning in the face of overwhelming odds. "There is still hope," he said, his eyes gleaming with determination. "We must seek out the HMS Valor." A murmur of disbelief swept through the group. The HMS Valor was a legendary warship, rumored to be the most powerful vessel ever built by humanity. It was said to have advanced technology and weapons that could challenge even the mightiest fleets. However, the ship had been lost for years, buried in the annals of history. "Are you sure it still exists?" Minister Green questioned, his brow furrowing. "It could be just a myth." "No, it's real," Admiral Roberts replied firmly. "I was part of the last crew that saw her. We must find it and bring it back. It is our only chance." With that spark of hope ignited, the leaders decided to take action. They formed a small team of brave individuals, each selected for their skills and courage. Among them was Captain Mia Torres, a talented pilot known for her quick thinking and bravery in battle. She had always dreamed of serving on the HMS Valor, and now it seemed fate had given her a second chance. As the team prepared for their journey, they gathered information about the Empire's movements. They learned that the Galactic Empire had set their sights on Earth, moving a massive fleet toward the planet. The clock was ticking and every moment counted. The crew gathered in a hangar where a small spaceship awaited them. It was not much compared to the Empire's warships, but it was fast and agile. They packed their supplies, weapons, and determination, ready to face the unknown. "Remember, this is about more than just saving Earth," Captain Torres addressed her team. "We are fighting for every person who lives here, for our families, our friends, and our future. We will find the HMS Valor and we will fight back." With those words, the crew felt a surge of hope and unity. They climbed aboard their ship, fueled by the promise of adventure and the weight of their mission. As the engines roared to life, they soared into the starry sky, leaving Earth behind. As they ventured deeper into the galaxy, the team faced challenges that tested their skills and resolve. They navigated through dangerous asteroid fields and outsmarted enemy patrols, growing closer with every obstacle they overcame. Finally, they reached an ancient battlefield where the HMS Valor was last seen. The wreckage of ships scattered across the void whispered stories of bravery and sacrifice. Captain Torres felt a deep connection to the past, knowing that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders. But as they searched for clues, they could feel the dark shadow of the Empire closing in. Time was running out. The HMS Valor was their last hope, and they had to find it before it was too late. The crew knew that the real battle for Earth had only just begun. The crew of the HMS Valor stood at the helm of their small ship, staring out into the vast expanse of space. Captain Mia Torres felt the weight of her mission pressing down on her. They were far from home, searching for a legendary ship that could turn the tide in the looming war against the Galactic Empire. The stars twinkled above them, but beneath that beauty lay a sense of urgency. "Where do we start?" asked Liam, the ship's engineer. He was young but incredibly talented, with a knack for fixing things. His fingers danced over the control panel, checking their ship systems. Captain Torres took a deep breath, steadying her nerves. The last known location of the HMS Valor was near the planet Varathia, a battle site long forgotten. "We need to head there first." With a nod from her crew, they set their course for Varathia. As the ship sped through the stars, Mia glanced at her team. Each member had their own reasons for joining this mission. They were all risking everything to protect their home. The journey was not easy. The crew encountered various challenges, from cosmic storms to debris fields that seemed to appear out of nowhere. Each time, they worked together to overcome the obstacles, growing closer as a team. Mia was proud of them. They were proving their mettle in the face of danger. After several tense days of travel, they finally arrived at Varathia. The planet was shrouded in a strange silence, with wreckage from the long-ago battle scattered across its surface. Giant ships lay in ruins, a testament to the fierce fighting that had once raged there. "Let's scan the area for signs of the HMS Valor," Mia instructed, her voice steady. Liam adjusted the ship's sensors, searching for any trace of the legendary vessel. As the scanners beeped and whirred, the tension in the cockpit grew. "I've got something!" Liam exclaimed, his eyes widening. "There's a strong signal coming from the eastern part of the wreckage field." "Let's check it out," Mia said, her heart racing. She piloted the ship closer to the debris, maneuvering carefully to avoid collisions. The sight was both awe-inspiring and tragic, with remnants of battles fought long ago littering the landscape. As they approached the source of the signal, Mia spotted something glimmering in the wreckage. "There!" she pointed, excitement bubbling up inside her. "That could be it." The crew worked quickly, navigating the ship through the tangled mess of metal and debris. Mia felt a mixture of hope and anxiety as they neared the shining object. They had come so far, and she couldn't let them down now. Once they reached the location, Mia ordered the ship to hover above the wreck. A large piece of metal jutted out, partially buried beneath other debris. "We need to get a closer look." "Liam, prepare a small shuttle. We'll go down and investigate." Liam nodded and prepped the shuttle while Mia gathered the crew. They suited up, each person filled with a mix of anticipation and apprehension. "Stay alert," Mia warned as they boarded the shuttle. "We don't know what we'll find down there." The shuttle descended slowly, its lights piercing the darkness of the wreckage. As they landed, the crew disembarked and began to search the area. The atmosphere felt heavy, filled with echoes of the past. "Over here!" called Sarah, the team's communications officer, as she stumbled upon a half-buried metal structure. As they cleared away the debris, they uncovered a section of the HMS Valor's hull. The emblem of the ship shone brightly, a reminder of the pride and strength it once represented. "This is it!" Sarah exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. "We found it!" Mia's heart raced. "Now we just need to figure out how to get it operational." The crew gathered around the wreck, examining the remnants of the ship. They could see the faded control panels and damaged systems. The HMS Valor had been through a lot, but it was still there, waiting for them to revive it. As they worked together to clean and assess the damage, a sense of determination filled the air. They knew this ship was their only hope against the Galactic Empire. The crew put their skills to the test, fixing what they could and brainstorming ideas for reviving the ship. However, as they worked, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. She glanced over her shoulder, scanning the skies. The Empire was relentless, and they would not let humanity stand in their way. Just then, a distant rumble echoed through the wreckage, followed by a series of loud explosions. The crew froze, eyes wide with fear. The Empire had found them. Time was running out, and they needed to finish their work quickly. The search for the HMS Valor was only the beginning of the fight for humanity's survival. The crew of the HMS Valor had been hard at work, carefully repairing the ship's systems and bringing it back to life. Captain Mia Torres felt a surge of hope as the ship began to respond. Lights flickered to life and the hum of the engines filled the air. But just as they were making progress, a distant rumble echoed through the wreckage. The atmosphere shifted, and the crew knew they were running out of time. "Everyone back to the shuttle!" Mia shouted, her voice cutting through the tension. The crew scrambled, their hearts pounding with urgency. They had to escape before the Empire arrived. As they reached the shuttle, Liam rushed to the control panel. "I can't get a clear read on what's coming, but it's big," he said, his hands flying over the controls. "We need to move now!" Mia's mind raced. The Empire had been relentless in their pursuit of humanity. If they found the HMS Valor, they would not hesitate to destroy it and everyone aboard. "Lift off," she commanded, her heart pounding. The shuttle ascended quickly, dodging debris as they flew away from the wreckage site. Mia's eyes were glued to the scanners, searching for any sign of danger. The crew held their breath, hoping they could make it back to their ship before it was too late. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Incoming ships!" Sarah shouted, her voice filled with fear. "It's the Empire!" "They're right behind us." Mia gripped the controls tightly, her focus sharpening. "Liam, can you get us to the HMS Valor? We need to finish those repairs." "I'll try, but it won't be easy with them on our tail," Liam replied, his fingers moving rapidly. "We have to shake them off first." The shuttle darted through the debris field, weaving in and out of the wreckage. The Empire's ships appeared on the scanners, dark and menacing, their weapons primed for destruction. A chill ran down Mia's spine as she realized just how outnumbered they were. "Hang on!" Mia shouted as she made a sharp turn, narrowly avoiding a massive piece of wreckage. The shuttle swerved and the crew braced themselves. The Empire's ships followed closely, firing lasers that lit up the darkness around them. "Brace for impact!" Liam yelled as a shot grazed their shuttle, sending it spiraling. The crew struggled to hold on, fear and adrenaline coursing through their veins. "We can't let them catch us!" Mia gritted her teeth, determination flooding her. "We have to get to the HMS Valor." Just ahead, she spotted the HMS Valor looming in the distance, its form a beacon of hope. "There it is! We're almost there!" she shouted, her voice filled with urgency. The shuttle surged forward, but the Empire's ships were relentless. More lasers flew past them, some striking the shuttle and causing alarms to blare even louder. "We're taking damage!" Sarah shouted, her face pale. "We can't stop now!" Mia yelled back. "Get ready to board the HMS Valor when we land!" With a final burst of speed, they reached the HMS Valor. The crew quickly disembarked, rushing onto the ship. Mia felt a mix of fear and hope as they entered the familiar corridors. She knew they had to finish their repairs and prepare for battle. "Liam, can you get the main systems online?" Mia asked, her eyes scanning the damage around them. "Working on it," he replied, already moving to the control panel. He began typing commands, his face set with determination. As the crew settled into action, they heard the thunderous roar of the Empire's fleet approaching. Mia turned to her team, each of them focused and ready. "This is it. We have to fight. We can't let them destroy us!" The sounds of the Empire's ships grew louder outside. The crew of the HMS Valor took their positions, adrenaline pumping through their veins. Sarah manned the communication system, while Liam worked frantically to restore power. "Engines are online!" Liam shouted. "We're ready to go! Prepare weapons!" Mia commanded, her heart racing. "We need to show them what we're made of!" As the crew geared up, the Empire's ships appeared on the scanners, forming a dark wall of destruction. Mia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "Let's do this for Earth. Let's show them that humanity will not back down." With the HMS Valor finally awake and ready for battle, the crew launched into action. Mia piloted the ship with precision, dodging incoming fire as they emerged from the wreckage. The sight before them was terrifying yet exhilarating. The Empire's fleet was massive, but the HMS Valor stood strong. "We're not afraid," Mia declared, her voice filled with determination. As the battle began, beams of light flashed across the darkness of space. The crew of the HMS Valor fought back with everything they had, determined to protect their home and each other. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for the future of humanity. The Empire may have underestimated them, but they would soon learn that one human ship could change the course of history. The battle had begun, and the HMS Valor shook with the force of incoming fire. Captain Mia Torres focused on the controls, her heart racing as she maneuvered the ship through the chaos. The crew worked quickly, each member knowing their role in the fight for survival. This was not just a battle for their lives, it was a battle for Earth. "Lock on to the nearest enemy ship!" Mia shouted, her voice steady despite the tension. "Sarah, get ready to fire!" "Target acquired!" Sarah replied, her fingers flying over the controls. "On your mark!" Mia took a deep breath. "Now, fire!" The HMS Valor fired its weapons, bright beams of energy slicing through the darkness. The shot hit an enemy ship, causing it to explode in a burst of flames and debris. Cheers erupted in the cockpit, but Mia knew this was only the beginning. The Empire's fleet was massive, and they would not back down easily. "More ships incoming from the left!" Liam shouted, glancing at the scanners. "They're trying to flank us!" "Hold steady!" Mia ordered, adjusting the ship's course. She steered the HMS Valor in a tight circle, dodging laser blasts as they zipped past. The crew felt the adrenaline pumping through their veins, their determination growing with every second. Mia glanced at her team, their faces filled with fear and resolve. They were outnumbered, but they had something the Empire did not, the heart and spirit of humanity. "We can do this! Keep fighting!" As the battle raged on, the HMS Valor became a blur of movement. The crew worked in perfect harmony, each member knowing exactly what to do. They fired on enemy ships, dodged incoming blasts, and made daring maneuvers that left the enemy reeling. "Direct hit on another ship!" Sarah shouted, excitement in her voice. "We're making a dent!" Mia felt a rush of hope. "Keep it up! We're turning the tide!" But just as they gained ground, an enormous flagship appeared on the scanners. It was a flagship of the Galactic Empire, its dark silhouette towering over the smaller ships. Mia's heart sank. "That's their command ship," she said, her voice tense. "We have to take it down, or we'll never win this battle. Liam, can you get us in range?" Mia asked urgently. "I'll try," he replied, his hands flying over the controls. "But it's going to be tough with all those smaller ships in the way." Mia gritted her teeth, determination flooding her veins. "We can't back down now! Everyone, focus fire on the flagship! We need to distract them while we get in position." The crew nodded, their eyes filled with resolve. They opened fire on the flagship, sending beams of energy toward it. The blasts lit up the darkness of space, but the flagship retaliated, returning fire with deadly accuracy. "Shield levels are dropping!" Liam shouted, panic creeping into his voice. "We can't take much more of this! Divert power to the shields," Mia commanded, her voice steady. "We need to hold on!" The crew worked quickly, rerouting energy to the shields as they continued their assault on the flagship. The HMS Valor rocked under the force of enemy fire, but they refused to give in. Mia felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders, but she also felt the strength of her crew beside her. "Prepare for a boarding maneuver," Mia shouted, her heart racing. "We need to get inside that ship and take out their command." Liam nodded, adrenaline coursing through him. "I'll set the coordinates." As they approached the flagship, Mia felt a surge of determination. They were about to face the heart of the enemy. "Get ready to breach," she yelled. With one final burst of speed, the HMS Valor slammed into the flagship's docking bay. The crew quickly unstrapped themselves, weapons ready. "Let's move!" Mia commanded, leading the way. As they stepped into the enemy ship, the air felt thick with tension. The crew moved through the dark corridors, their hearts pounding. They encountered enemy soldiers, but they fought back with everything they had. Each battle brought them closer to their goal. Mia led her team through the chaos, determination fueling her steps. They fought fiercely, pushing deeper into the flagship. With every enemy they took down, they felt the tide of battle shifting in their favor. Finally, they reached the command center, the heart of the flagship. Mia kicked down the door, her weapon raised. "Hands up!" she shouted, her voice echoing in the large room. The Imperial officers froze, their faces filled with shock and fear. "What is happening?" one of them shouted. "This is our ship now," Mia declared, her voice steady. "You've underestimated humanity for too long." With that, the crew engaged in a fierce fight, determined to take control of the flagship. As the battle raged on, Mia felt a spark of hope. They were turning the tide, and humanity was ready to fight back against the darkness. The crew of the HMS Valor fought fiercely in the command center of the flagship. Captain Mia Torres led the charge, her heart pounding with adrenaline as they faced off against the remaining Imperial officers. Each enemy they took down brought them closer to victory, but the fight was far from over. "Push forward!" Mia shouted, her voice echoing through the chaos. "We need to take control of the ship!" Liam and Sarah followed closely behind, firing their weapons with precision. They worked together seamlessly, each one covering the other's back. As they moved deeper into the command center, the tension in the air thickened. Suddenly, a loud explosion rocked the flagship. Alarms blared and red lights flashed ominously. "We're taking hits from the HMS Valor," an officer shouted, panic in his voice. "We need to regroup." Mia seized the opportunity. "We can't let them escape," she yelled, determination surging through her. "Keep pushing!" The crew pressed forward, their determination stronger than ever. They fought with everything they had, each encounter fueled by the knowledge that they were defending their home and their future. As they pushed through the chaos, they reached the bridge, the heart of the flagship. The massive doors slid open with a loud hiss, revealing a room filled with Imperial officers. The sight was overwhelming, but Mia steeled herself. "This ends now!" she declared, raising her weapon. The officers turned in shock, and chaos erupted as the crew charged in. The sound of gunfire filled the air as the two sides clashed. Mia felt a rush of adrenaline as she fought, dodging blasts and returning fire. In the midst of the battle, she spotted a familiar figure, Admiral Voss, the leader of the Imperial fleet, standing at the control panel. His eyes narrowed as he recognized her. "You think you can defeat us, human?" he sneered. "You're outnumbered and outmatched!" Mia glared at him, her determination unwavering. "We've already proven you wrong today. We're not afraid of you!" With a fierce cry, she charged at him, ducking under blasts and weaving through the chaos. Voss was a skilled fighter, but Mia had something he didn't, the spirit of humanity behind her. They engaged in a brutal fight, each blow fueled by the weight of their worlds. Mia felt the fire of her determination guiding her. She would not let the Empire win. With a swift move, she disarmed Voss, knocking his weapon to the ground. "Enough!" she shouted, pressing her weapon against him. "Surrender or face the consequences." Voss smirked, his eyes cold. "You think this is over? You've won a battle, but the war is far from finished." Before Mia could respond, the flagship shook violently. "We're under attack from the HMS Valor! They're targeting the core!" an officer shouted. Mia's heart raced. "We need to get out of here," she yelled. "Liam, Sarah, cover me!" As they regrouped, the ship rocked again and alarms blared louder. The crew quickly made their way to the exit, determination pushing them forward. They needed to reach the HMS Valor before it was too late. Outside the bridge, they encountered more Imperial soldiers. "We have to hold them off!" Mia commanded, her voice filled with urgency. The crew stood their ground, firing at the enemy as they pressed forward. Liam glanced back at Mia, worry etched on his face. "What if we can't make it back?" Mia met his gaze, her expression fierce. "We will make it back. We fight for each other and we fight for Earth." With renewed determination, they pushed through the hallways, each step taking them closer to freedom. The sound of battle echoed around them as they fought against the odds. Finally, they reached the docking bay where the HMS Valor awaited them. "We did it!" Sarah shouted, her voice filled with excitement. But their victory was short-lived. Just as they reached the ship, the flagship shook violently, and alarms blared again. "We need to leave now," Mia urged, urgency flooding her voice. The crew boarded the HMS Valor, and Liam rushed to the controls. "I'm starting the engines!" he shouted, his fingers flying over the panel. As the engines roared to life, Mia glanced back at the flagship. The Imperial fleet was in chaos, their command ship struggling to maintain control. This was their moment to escape. "Go, go, go!" Mia yelled as the HMS Valor launched away from the flagship, leaving behind the chaos of battle. The crew felt a rush of exhilaration as they broke free, the darkness of space stretching out before them. As they sped away, Mia allowed herself to breathe. They had faced incredible odds and emerged victorious. But the fight was not over. The Galactic Empire would not give up easily. "Prepare for anything," Mia said, determination in her voice. "We've shown them what humanity is capable of today, but we need to stay vigilant. This war is just beginning." The crew nodded, ready for whatever came next. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, united in their fight for Earth and their determination to protect their home. The HMS Valor soared through the stars, a symbol of hope and resilience, ready to take on whatever the Empire would throw at them next.